Namaste everyone. Welcome to Lessons with Lakshmi. Today we will be discussing about the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. The objectives of our discussion include about the poet and brief summary of the poem recitation with line by line explanation, rhyme scheme of the poem, figures of speech or literary devices used in the poem, and discussion of question and answers. Robert Frost, 1874 to 1963. Robert Lee Frost was an American poet and playwright. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. Known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech, Frost frequently wrote about settings from rural life in New England in the early 20th century, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes. Frost was honored frequently during his lifetime and is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. The summary of the poem The Road Not Taken is: it was written by Robert Frost as a joke for a friend, the poet Edward Thomas. When they went walking together, Thomas was always indecisive or not able to decide about which road they ought to take, and always wondered how the road that they had not taken would have turned out to be. But when Frost read this poem to the audience at a college, they took the poem pretty seriously, and the rest is history. This poem is full of contradictions or opposites, highlighting the indecisiveness of Edward Thomas's choice of roads. This poem is an autobiographical poem, meaning we have to know about the author and his life to better understand this poem. In this poem, the roads were used as a metaphor for choices in life, and the poet says he has taken the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference in his life. The poet does not explain the difference that has made is a positive or a negative one. Rather, the poet leaves the poem open-ended and leaves the decision to the perspective of an individual, thus appealing to any and everybody. The rhyme scheme of the poem is ABAAB. The literary devices or figures of speech used in the poem include metaphor, extended metaphor, imagery, anaphora, inversion, alliteration, repetition, and hyperbole. I will read the stanza and then explain it. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. The speaker describes that he comes across 2 roads forked in the yellow wood. Wood means forest. The leaves are turning to yellow in color, and so the forest looks yellow. Maybe it is autumn season. Diverged means separated, split, or disjointed, or forked. There is a fork in the road and it divides into 2 roads. The speaker feels sorry that he could not travel both the roads and has to choose one of the 2 roads. Being one person or one traveler, he stands at the fork of the road for a very long time thinking about which road to take. He says, long I stood, means I stood there for a long time. Now he looks down one road and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Means he looked onto one road until where it bent in the undergrowth. Undergrowth means small plants, dense growth of small plants. He could see the road until where it bent. In life also we decide about choices. See here the roads are metaphor for choices. Now in life also we have to make so many choices from the time you get up. There might be small choices or major choices of life. So what happens is we can only plan for a certain period. We cannot think about the whole future. Say it says we can see only until the undergrowth, means only to a certain point you can decide in the future what you are going to do. After that life happens and the choices will change. Then took the other just as fair. Now he says he is looking down the other road. It looks just as fair. Just as fair means similar to the first road and having perhaps the better claim. See, the Edward Thomas's, he's making joke of Edward Thomas, we said. So the indecisiveness of the decision making is fickle minded, we can say fickle minded, going to and fro. He says first it is a contradiction or opposite. In the first line he says it looks fair means it looks similar, but in the next line he says it has a better claim. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Now here it is full of contradictions or opposites. Then took the other just as fair. Here he looked down the other road which looks similar to him in the beginning, and having perhaps a better claim. Now he goes back on his words and then he says maybe it is better than the first road. Why? Because it was grassy and wanted wear. It was grassy means not many people have walked on this road, and so it is still grassy, and wanted wear. Wanted wear means not many people have passed on this road and it's not worn much. Okay, wearing down, not worn down much. Again he goes back. He says though as for that passing there means, but when I passed through that road, he says when he passed through that road, it has warned them really about the same. He is saying it looks as if as worn as the first road. So it is full of opposites. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. In this stanza, the poet says both the roads look equally in the morning with the freshly fallen leaves, and no step had trodden black means no one has stepped on the freshly fallen leaves, as they were not looking dirty or soiled from the footprints from the people walked over them or stepped over them, crushing them. They still look yellow and freshly fallen. The speaker is again confusing us. First he says it was grassy. Now he says the leaves have fallen on the paths. Maybe he himself is confused. Then, oh, I kept the first for another day. Now this oh exclamation. He says here, the first road which I had not taken, I have kept it for some other day. In the future when I get a chance, if I get a chance, I will walk through that road. Yet knowing how way leads on to way means he knows that one decision if you have taken, one way you have taken, that way you go forward in that way, and in that way again you will have choices, again the road forks, and again you will be making choice. You will not come back to select the first road. You must have gotten far into that road that you cannot come back. I doubted if I should ever come back. So he also knows that once he moves on the road, he will not get a chance to come back from that road. Say for example, in your life also, say after 12th standard, you have decided to take engineering. After 2 years of engineering, you will not come back and take medicine, right? In engineering only, you will take more choices of that. So you will go forward. You will never come back and start from the beginning again. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Now he is telling this with a sigh, with a very long time. After a very long time that he had come across a fork in the road, and he has chosen a road that has been less travelled by, and it has made all the difference in his life. And this is very important, because look at the usage of I here. He uses it twice, meaning he is stressing upon the point that it has made all the difference in his life. Now the sigh can be a happy sigh, or a sigh of satisfaction, or a sigh with regret. That means a sad sigh, or he was just thinking about what has happened to him during that time. It can be a neutral sigh. So it is not very clear. The poet leaves that decision, that difference, whatever it is, he leaves us to it. ourselves and we can apply to our own life. That is one of the beauty of this poem. The beauty of this poem is he leaves that option to the reader himself. It depends upon our life experiences and we can take the difference as a positive way or a negative way. But if we think about the poet Robert Frost, he was not successful in America as a poet. He left America and he came to England, and there he became friends with other contemporary poets such as Ezra Pound, Edward Thomas and all, and they inspired him and they gave him confidence that his poetry is beautiful, and that is how he became very famous. So he had taken a choice of coming back to England and thus he became famous. So the difference he is talking when we think about the poet's life was success to him. And he says this, he will be talking about this ages and ages hence. After many years, he will be telling about the road he had come across, and choosing a less traveled road has made all the difference in his life. Now we'll find the rhyme scheme of the poem. To find the rhyme scheme of the poem, we have to check the words at the end. Now to check the words at the end, see here would, we will start with A. Okay, then we'll compare the next word, that is both. Both doesn't rhyme with would, so we have to give it a B. Now check the next word stood. Stood rhymes with would, so we have to give again A. Then check the next word could. Could rhymes with would, so we have to give again A. Then the next word we have is undergrowth. Undergrowth is rhymes with the word both, so we have to give the letter B. So the rhyme scheme of the first stanza is A, B, A, B. Now the next stanza rhyme scheme is fair. Fair sounds with where and there, and claim sounds with same. So the rhyme scheme of the next stanza is C, D, C, C, D. Okay, and then next stanza we have is E, F, E, F, that is lay, rhymes with day, way, and black sounds with back. That is why E, F. Sigh sounds with I, by, and hence sounds with difference. So G, H, G, G, H. So the pattern is same, A, B, A, B. That is why the rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B. Now let us discuss about the poetic devices or literary devices or figures of speech used in the poem. Now the roads, I have underlined all the words that stand for figures of speech. Roads is used as a metaphor for life choices. So roads is metaphor. Then yellow wood. Yellow wood means if you close your eyes and imagine yellow wood means a tree full of yellow, a tree having yellow leaves and the forest is looking yellow. That is called as visual imagery. Means you can imagine in your mind how it looks like. That is called as visual imagery. So it is imagery. And then look in the second line, third line, fourth line. All the lines start with the word and. When one, two or more consecutive lines start with the same word, then that figure of speech is called as anaphora. Then long I stood. Long I stood is inversion. Normally we say I stood for a long time. Instead the poet is saying long I stood in order to rhyme the stood with would. So using words in the inverted fashion. That is why the figure of speech used is called as inversion. Then wanted where. Now you know what is this wanted where. Wa sound is repeated. That is called as alliteration. If the same sound is repeated, then that is called as alliteration. Then in the next line, next stanza, we have way leads on to way. See, look at the word way. It is repeating again and again. So it is called as repetition. Then ages and ages hence. Ages and ages means for a number of years, for many years, the author is exaggerating. So it is called as hyperbolic. Okay, these are the figures of speeches we have. We have as I mentioned in the about the poem, in the summary of the poem, we have all these figures of speeches. Now the last topic of our discussion today is question answers. Where does the traveler find himself? The traveler finds himself at the road that forks into two. What problem does he face? The problem he faces is deciding on which road to take. Describe what these phrases mean to you. Yellow wood. Yellow wood means forest. So yellow wood means forest with trees having yellow leaves, implying it might be the season of autumn. It was grassy and wanted wear, means not many people have passed through this road and the road looks relatively less worn compared to the other road. The passing there means after going through that road or after walking through that road. Leaves no step had trodden black, means no one has stepped on the leaves that have fallen, or as the leaves does not appear to have blackened by the footprints of the people that might have passed on them. Then how way leads on to way? The poet says that one way leads on to the other ways. That is, one way will pave way to many other ways moving forward, or one decision will move forward. When we move forward with a decision, we have to face few more decisions. Okay. Now, is there a difference between the two roads as the poet describes them in stanzas 2 and 3? Second stanza of the poem is full of contradictions or opposites. Say he starts by saying the second road looks more promising when compared to the first road, but then he says on passing through that road, he decides both the roads look the same. In the last two lines of the poem, now in the third stanza, he says both the roads were equally covered with leaves that no one has stepped on. Next, in the last two lines of the poem, this poem is open-ended poem, means the poet ends the poem saying that he has chosen a less traveled road and that has made all the difference, but he does not specify if the difference was a positive or a negative one, and this he leaves to the reader to decide and his experiences of life. This is one of the beauties of this poem, not giving a proper ending and leaving it open for the reader to decide. What do you think the two lines of the poem mean? Looking back, does the poet regret his choice or accept it? So I think the poet is talking about his own experiences in his life. He was unsuccessful as a poet in his birthplace, that is America. He chose to travel to England and became very famous there. And maybe the poet was talking about the road he has taken that was less traveled by, and it has made a difference in his life which was positive. Remember, he has become famous in England and he was not very famous in America. Even though by reading the poem it is not clear if the poet regretted or accepted his choice, if we think about his life, we can come to a conclusion that poet was pretty happy with his life as he became famous in England. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to The Road Not Taken explained by me. Have a wonderful day. I hope everything is clear to you, and